Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 5 of the 25-26 Premier League season. And before we begin, I just want to apologise for being a bit late. I just travelled back from Norfolk, so that's why this is up a couple days late. So, but without further ado, let's look at how I did last week. I didn't get any bob ones, but I got 5 outcomes correct, so that is 5 points for the week, taking my season total up to 37. And this is how the table currently stands after 4 games. And without further ado, let's predict this week's set of matches. And we'll start out with the Merseyside derby. It is Liverpool against Everton. And both these sides have been impressive this season. Liverpool, of course, top of the table currently. And Everton, well, I mean, Jack Grealish has been getting assists after assist after assist this season. And yeah, I think he has been a benefit to Everton this season. It's tricky though, because it is at Anfield, and I do like Liverpool, full stop. But Everton have been strong, and I don't think I'm going to back Liverpool to drop points or not win very often this season. But for some reason, I think this could be one of them. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on this one. I think both teams will pick up a point and a goal each, and 1-1 is where I'm going on the first match here. And next up, we've got Burnley against Nottingham Forest. And both these sides, again, it's a tricky one, really. Forest, of course, did sack Nuno, and they've replaced him for Ange Postecoglou. And they lost over the weekend, just gone. And Burnley were unlucky as well. Burnley held Liverpool to a 0-0 until the dying moments of the match, and then Salah scored a penalty in the 95th minute to win the game for Liverpool. It's tricky because at Turf Moor, Burnley are very cagey. I think it's back-to-back home games for them. And Forest have been playing quite a few away matches recently. Their Europa League, their Europa League journey starts next weekend. It's tricky because part of me is like, Forest should win this, but I do like Burnley at Turf Moor. You know what? I'm going for a 0-0 on this one, a 0-0 draw. I think both sides are going to pick up a point and, well, kind of move the chains. So 1-1 is where I'm going. And next up, we've got Brighton against Tottenham. And this is, I feel like this week's set of matches are tricky to predict, because I like Brighton. Brighton have been good this season so far. They did just lose 2-1 to Bournemouth at the Vitality. With this being at the Amex, I think they can get a result here. But I just look at Tottenham's side, and I just think they're a bit better. They did play Villarreal. I think they won in the Champions League a couple of days ago. And this one is tricky because I would be tempting to back a draw here, but I do like Spurs. I think Spurs will just get this over the line. I'm going 2-1 Tottenham on this one. I think Tottenham are strong enough to get the result over the line and get the 3 points, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a draw. And next up, we've got West Ham against Crystal Palace. And it's a London derby. And West Ham's been a really weird one this season. They, of course, before the international break, beat Forest 3-0. But last week they're back to losing ways, 3-0 to Tottenham. And Crystal Palace, I can't remember what they did. think they won. But in this match, I just look at West Ham, and I think they're not strong enough here. And with Thomas Souček being out as well, I think he's injured or something. I think that's one less goal scoring threat, attacking threat for Crystal Palace. And I think Palace, looking at the squad, are just that bit stronger. I'm going 2-1 Palace on this one. I think of the two sides, I do fancy Palace to win and keep moving upwards. Next up, we've got a huge relegation 6-pointer. It's Wolves against Leeds. And this is a huge match for both these sides. Wolves are the only side in the whole division yet to get a point. And Leeds have been alright on their day. But I don't know if they're that good. They've been overly impressive this season. I do still think they can survive. And if they beat Wolves, that's going to definitely help them this season. But the thing is, both these sides I have been tempted to give goals to. I think both sides can score goals on their day. And with this being a huge relegation 6-pointer, I think this game could have goals as well. I'm going for a Desmond on this one, a 2-2 draw. I think both sides are going to be... They're not going to be happy with a point, but I think they're going to take one. They're going to shake hands, play out a draw and then move over to next week. So we'll see what happens there. But 2-2 is where I'm going. And next up, we've got Manchester United against Chelsea. And that's a huge game. The thing is, with Manchester United, with this match being at Old Trafford, they could get a win. Well, not a win, but a result over the line. But I like Chelsea's squad that bit better. Manchester United, on the day, they do have glimmer of hope. They do get glimmers of hope. They do very much, they have moments where they've been impressive. But I just don't know if Amorim's strategies are working here. And Chelsea, they started off their Champions League campaign with a 3-1 defeat to Bayern Munich last night. But I think they're going to go to Old Trafford, travel up there, and get the 3 points. I'm going 2-1 Chelsea on this one. I just look at Enzo Maresca's boys and I think they just play that better football right now. So 2-1 is where I'm going on this one. And next up, we've got Fulham against Brentford. It's another London derby. And, I just look at this match and think this has draw written all over it. They're both mid-table for a reason. They've been getting results here and there this season. Fulham with that very last-minute winner, 1-0 against Leeds last week. Brentford with a last-minute equaliser, 2-2 against Chelsea. But this one's tricky. If I had to pick a winner, I would say I've been more impressed by Brentford this season. But it is at Craven Cottage. And for that reason, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I think both teams are going to play out a draw again. They're going to take a point each, which will keep them about mid-table. And they're going to keep moving the chain. So 1-1 is where I'm going on this one. Next up, we've got Sunderland against Aston Villa. And one thing I can say about Sunderland this season is I've liked them at the Stadium of Light. So far, 2 matches at the Stadium of Light, 2 wins. And against an Aston Villa side who is yet to score a goal still in the league this season. They scored their first goal of the season against Brentford in the Carabao Cup a couple of nights ago. Lost on penalties. I'm starting to believe that Unai Emery might be feeling the pressure, because if he doesn't start to turn results around, then he could be getting the sack. And Sunderland have been impressive this season at the Stadium of Light. I'll expect them to get most of their points this season there. And therefore, I am going to go for a Sunderland win and a clean sheet to boot. I'm going 2-0 Sunderland, 2-0 to the home side. I think Sunderland have been impressive there. I think the fans are going to rock up once again to the stadium and push their team over the line. So 2-0 is where I'm going to the home side. Next up, we move on to Bournemouth against Newcastle. It's an Eddie Howe derby. And this one's tricky because right now, as it stands, Bournemouth are in the Champions League spots in 4th place. Newcastle are mid-table, I believe, in 10th as it stands. This one's tricky because with it being at the Vitality, you think I should be back in Bournemouth for a win or at least a result here. And of course, Newcastle, I'm speaking right now, are playing Barcelona in the Champions League at St James's Park. And I think Newcastle, that might tire them out. But I still somehow am backing, and it's a long journey for the Geordie boys as well. But I'm still backing Newcastle for the win here. I don't know why, this is controversial here, but I'm going 2-1 to the Geordies, 2-1 Newcastle on this one. I think both Geordie sides are going to get a win this weekend coming. And the 3 points, so 2-1 Newcastle. And then move on to the final game, is game of the weekend. It is Arsenal against Manchester City. And now, historically, in like 2 of the last 3 seasons, this has been a title battle. And quite often it's been very cagey, very low scoring. But at the Emirates, I think Arsenal are the favourites. But Manchester City do look strong with their 3-0 victory against Man United in the Manchester derby last weekend. But Arsenal are strong, and they are strong at home. So why not? I'm going for another Desmond here, another 2-2 draw. I think both sides are going to not be happy to drop points, but they're going to be happy with a point to move upwards. Arsenal more so than City. This will put them 10th, I think. But all my predictions came in. But I think a point is better than none. And of course they get, like I said for a couple teams recently on the video in previous matches, I think both teams are going to play out a point this week and move on to next week. So 2-2 is I'm going on this final match. And there you have it, guys. All 10 matches done and dusted for another week. Let's see how this week's predictions come in. And I'll see you all in the next one.